Hello everyone, my name is Tunji Babalola. I am here in the court this morning because I am being accused of murdering my friend. There is no way I can do such thing to my friend. No way on earth can I do such thing to him. I love him so much. But as you can see, my fate is completely dependent on the jury and the judge. I sincerely hope that this trial will be ruled to my favor. I sincerely do. For those of you that are wondering what is the story behind this case, please listen to my story. Please.
The Murder at Balatu Street, Prologue. The trial of Tunji Babalola, Prison, Gorondute Correctional Center. Prosecutor, Attorney Baba Mansour. Defending Prosecutor, Charles Uzo. Court, Kano State High Court. All rise. This case is adjourned till the 30th of March, 2022. Things aren't looking good, Tunji, Lawyer Charles said, his hands running through his head. I tried pleading guilty with a 4-year probation and rehabilitation, but Shola's family wants you to be hung. I swear I didn't kill Shola. You were found at the crime scene, your hands drenched in blood. The knife was dumped in the nearby dumpster. We have nothing, Tunji. No CCTV cameras, no witnesses. You said you were set up, but by who? Maybe this is the time to spill the beans because your life is on the line here. Chike Amadu, Tunji murmured, gazing over his shoulders. What do you mean? Lawyer Charles replied. When I found Shola, he wasn't dead. He whispered those names to my ears. Isn't Chike Amadu known for trafficking and extortion and drugs? God, Tunji, how did you get entangled in such a mess? Please, sir, help me. I don't want to die. At least not yet. My mother needs me. You should have thought about that. Lawyer Charles was in a state of pandemonium as he whispered, Chike Amadu. At that moment, he knew that only a miracle would save this boy from the hands of the executioner. Chapter 1. I was born in Dambata, a neighborhood in Kano infamous for its ties to criminal activities and drug trafficking. The atmosphere here starkly contrasts with that of downtown Isale-Eko. At least in Isale-Eko, if someone was murdered, their body parts were recovered, offering some semblance of closure. Here, however, the pervasive belief among neighbors was that nothing good could emerge from this part of Kano. The government's neglect was palpable. The roads were riddled with deep potholes and choked with gutters, creating a landscape of despair. Almajiri children, left to fend for themselves, lay scattered throughout the streets, their emaciated bodies a haunting testament to the hunger that gnawed at them. Surrounding these scenes were old buildings, their crumbling facade telling stories of better days, long lost, teetering on the brink of collapse. My father was a man of remarkable strength and integrity, rising from the depths of poverty to become the respected head of the labor union in our community. He had a natural sense of fairness that resonated with everyone around him, permanently settling disputes with a firm yet compassionate hand, refusing to engage in the corrupt practice of bribery. To many, he was not just a leader but a beacon of hope and a role model inspiring countless individuals to strive for a better life. Not everyone embraced the winds of change that my father championed. His dedication to justice and equality made him enemies among those who thrived in the old ways. Tragically, this tension culminated in violence when, while mediating a heated conflict between two community leaders, he was stabbed to death. Authorities called it an accident, but we knew it was more than that. At 18 years old, I was the eldest of 3 siblings, suddenly thrust into a world of uncertainty. My mother, who worked tirelessly, running a small restaurant on Balatus Road, was on the brink of collapse. The weight of my father's debt loomed heavily over us, compounded by the enormous responsibility of caring for my younger sister and brother. It felt like our lives were unraveling at the seams, and we were left to pick up the pieces in a world that had turned cruelly indifferent. The chain of misfortune began when my mother fell gravely ill, casting a shadow again over our home. The strain of her sickness weighed heavily on all of us, leading to my sister being expelled from school and her dreams of education dashed in an instant. Meanwhile, my younger brother suffered a painful accident that left him with a fractured arm, each bump and ache adding to our family's growing tapestry of struggle and despair. During this turmoil, we were incredibly grateful to have Mr. Babatunde, our kind-hearted neighbor, who stepped in to help us when we needed it the most. He selflessly covered some of our mounting bills, showing the generosity we desperately needed during such dark times. However, just as hope seemed to flicker on the horizon, fate dealt us another cruel blow. Mr. Babatunde was deployed to Maiduguri to join the fight against the insurgents of the Boko Haram militant group. Instantly, we were left again to rely solely on our fate as we faced the uncertain path ahead. My mother, still grappling with the lingering effects of her illness and an aching heart, would sit daily in front of the house, lost in her thoughts, with my siblings and me out of school. There were nights we often went to bed on nothing but water. I would gather trash and bottles from a wealthy merchant's home down the street. His youngest son had taken a liking to me and would wait at the gate for my arrival. Shola was always friendly and sometimes brought leftover food. I would wrap in leather and take to my mother. It felt like Lady Luck had finally smiled upon us. At least every 2 nights we managed to go to bed with half-full bellies. Despite that, Mother didn't improve, and I couldn't afford to take her to a specialist hospital. Everything changed the day I confided in Shola about our struggles. He generously offered me 30,000 naira to buy medicine for my mother, telling me to repay him soon. He asked me to meet him at a shop inside the Sabongeri market the following week. He mentioned that a man was looking for 2 boys to sell some goods next to St. Louis Secondary School. Shola said it was a great opportunity that could help me repay him and leave me with some extra cash. Since I had dropped out of school and was only collecting scraps and selling plastic bottles, I told Mother I would walk further to gather more bottles, making me come home late. Shola and I made our way to the store in Sabongeri. 2 men sitting outside guided us through the shop, leading us to a small opening that led into another room. It was overwhelming. The smell of cigarettes nearly knocked me over. I coughed, and Shola nudged me gently with his shoulder. A man in dark sunglasses called out to Shola, "I see you have brought a new friend with you," he said, releasing a cloud of smoke into the cramped room that barely had any windows. "This is Tunji. I brought him along to help with the sales." He tossed the bag at Shola. "That's 500k. If you sell it, you get 100k, and your friend will pocket 60k. "Thanks, Don Chike. I promise I won't let you down." "You better not. You know I have ears everywhere." Shola and Tunji stepped outside, taking in the warm, still air. "What's in the bag?" "Why didn't you inform me that we were coming to a place like this?" Shola asked. "Do you want to help your mother or not? It's marijuana, and we have no choice." "I still don't plan on giving him the money." Dad sending me off to live with my grandmother in Ekiti State so Chike won't see or even catch a whiff of this money again. Shola replied, grinning mischievously. Are you out of your mind? If he finds out, we are done for it, Tunji exclaimed. We are supposed to deliver in a day. I'll hide some newspaper underneath and place a few bills on top. By the time he realizes what's happening, I'll be out of Kano. And what about me? He will kill me. Tunji, you need to figure out something. You wanted money for your mom's medication and hospital bills. I've got a solid plan. God, you're ruthless, Tunji said, taking the next turn towards the house. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. at St. Louis, Shola shouted. I arrived late the next day, contemplating if I should risk my head or go to the nearest police to ask for help. Shola said Chike isn't one to play with his money, and sometimes dealers suddenly disappear when they don't earn enough returns. Then why was Shola thinking of running away with Chike's money? You are late, Shola said, stretching his hands to collect the bag from him. I'm sorry, I had to help my mom. I lied. Stay at the side and keep watch while I sell to some of the guys behind the school, Shola said. It didn't take long. Shola sold all the marijuana, making more than 500k. Hold this. Buy some drugs for your mom, he said, giving me a chunk of cash. 60k, I muttered out. La Shola, shouldn't we take this money first to Chike? I won't. The last time he took 80% of my cut. I won't give him the money. Shola said, now walking away. You didn't see me. I left town if anybody asked. Two of Chike's men were standing outside talking to one of my siblings. Please, leave him alone, I said, asking my brother to run inside the house. They dragged me behind the house. One of them hit me hard on the stomach. I thought I was going to die for a moment. You and Shola were supposed to drop the money immediately after the sale. Do you think we will not find out about your plans? Chike has eyes everywhere. Please wait. I took out the 60k and handed it over to them. This was Chike's promise me. Shola gave it to me. Where is Shola? One of them screamed, now pointing a gun at my head. Please, I don't want to die. I wailed, wetting my trousers. They hit me again, running off the corners. My neighbor cried for help. My stomach ached from beating, but I needed to warn Shola to leave town earlier than planned. I took a shortcut through the compound. The gate man was outside. Oga Tunji said no. He greeted in Hausa. Is Shola inside? Yana Chike, the Abokinshi. He's inside with his friends, he replied. My heart raced and I sprinted to Shola's room. He wasn't there. I quickly asked the nanny if she'd seen him. She said he had taken two friends to the boys' quarters. By the time I reached there, I found Shola on the floor, blood everywhere. Help! Help! I screamed, desperately trying to stop the bleeding. Chike Amadu's voice, she whispered weakly. Shola! Shola! Please! No! Shola! Wake up! I cried out in panic. Shola lost his life that fateful night, just shy of his 21st birthday. The darkness wrapped around the premises, offering no witnesses to the tragic event, save for the gatekeeper and the maid. They spoke of seeing me conversing with Shola in the shadows, yet their silence loomed heavy. Both stubbornly refused to tell the authorities that Chike Amadu's boys had been with him in the boys' quarters, leaving the truth shrouded in mystery and despair.